Were you into music early?
Nah, to be honest with you, I wasn't.
Word?
Nah, I just rapped and freestyled in school and stuff
Okay.
as a hobby, like just to play around.
Did you have like aspirations like to go to the league or anything?
I had a scholarship. That was my dream. Got hit by a truck, had 9 surgeries. That was a wrap. At that time, I contemplated a lot.
So you just wrote about it?
Yeah, wrote about it. I actually wrote like my first mixtape in the hospital.
You were in Maryland for a while.
My whole life, pretty much.
What was it like growing up there?
It was rough, man.
For real?
Yeah, it was rough. Like I saw like my first dead body, bro, at like 13.
Did you ever get into any of that stuff?
When I got in trouble, they would send me away, stuff like that, to my grandma's. It was like, nah, you come on back here. So
Yeah.
then it was just like, oh, you ain't gonna be like your brother.
And how old were you when he passed away?
It's like 4 years ago.
And was it like a tragic thing?
Yeah, he was murdered.
What up, y'all? I'm Rajay, and welcome to another episode of the RXS podcast. Today we got a special guest in the building, Shame Gang. How you doing,
What's up, man? That's good.
Hey, man, thank you for being here.
Nah, thank you for having me, man. I'm a fan of the show, bro.
Man, I
Fire.
appreciate that, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, living life, man. Like they say, you gotta take it one day at a time.
Yeah,
Nah,
for
there you
sure.
go. Can't
Yeah.
go too fast. Yeah.
Facts, man.
Yeah.
On this show, we like to tell the story from the beginning.
Okay.
So I want to go all the way back.
Man.
Tell me where you were born, man.
I was born in Maryland, Cheverly, Maryland. Raised in Landover.
No. Wait. Tell me what Maryland?
Maryland, Cheverly.
Cheverly.
Yeah, Cheverly, Maryland, and then PG County.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
PG
never heard of
County.
none of that before.
Yeah, you never heard of Landover?
No.
Wow, that's crazy.
No.
Landover's like I'm trying to think. It's not too far from DC. Like
Okay.
not too far from the border of DC.
Okay.
But yeah, Prince George's County. Never heard of Prince
No.
George's County? Wow, that's crazy.
You put me on everything.
Yeah. Prince George's County. Raised there, man. I think I moved to North Carolina like 2015, 2014.
So you were in Maryland for a while.
My whole life, pretty much.
What was it like growing up there?
It was rough, man.
For real?
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was like all bad. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? My mom and them were hardworking
Yeah.
parents, you know what I'm saying? And they had dreams of getting us out the hood,
Yeah.
So they did, so but yeah, it was I miss growing up then is not as bad as it is now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You think it is, but now I look back, I'd be like, man, like I would never move back to where I live now, you know what I'm saying? But
So when you were younger, could you tell or did you realize it was bad?
Not really. I mean, there'd be certain things that, your cousins or whatever would say, like, yo, don't go to this place after 9 by
Okay.
yourself, or don't be walking the streets by yourself, at night by yourself, and, just stuff like that. But you a kid,
So you think them just regular rules?
Yeah, you just like, all right, be in before street lights or whatever, but you don't listen anyway.
Yeah.
So, but then as you get older, as I got older and then, became a teenager and everything, then it was just like, yo, it's really real out here. And I started seeing like a lot of people getting killed and everything like that. Like I saw like my first dead body, bro, at like 13, so.
Was that like a traumatizing thing for you?
It was, but so many people died. A lot of people died, man. So it was just kind of just like, what in the world? You know what I mean? The way we stumbled across it was crazy. Like me and the kids, like me and all my other friends, we used to just like hike in the woods.
Yeah.
Like, kids do scavenging type stuff, bro,
yeah.
that you're not supposed to be doing. And yeah, we found a dead body out there.
In the woods?
In the woods, like in the creek area. Yeah. And then, yeah, that's how we found out. I was like, that was a dead body. It was crazy.
So, but you were used to people dying around you?
Yeah.
That became like a normal
like
thing
a lot
almost?
of a lot of family members of mine were into some wild stuff. So either they were dying or close friends. But my friends were like either dying like once I like it was like high school or stuff like that. They were into like a lot of gang stuff or whatever like that. So but yeah, I mean, it was a norm. It was a norm. Yeah, which is bad, but yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever get into any of that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I used to like follow my brother and stuff. So, he was really like, you could say gang affiliated in a sense, but and into the streets. My brother was like, he was like a well respected like drug dealer in the hood. So I used to always just run behind his coattail, do what he did type stuff. You know? So doing wild stuff, man. So yeah, that's. But my mom and them kind of pulled me back though. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Okay.
Like my brother was far gone, so they was like, we can't do nothing with him. But for me, it was like, nah, you come on back here. So
Yeah. And did they ever like sit down and talk to you like, hey, son?
nah, it never really was. It was just like when I got in trouble, then it was just like, oh, you ain't gonna be like your brother. Like, nah. You know what I mean? So they would send me away, stuff like that, to my grandma, stuff
Okay.
like that.
And
so.
where was your grandma at?
In DC.
Okay.
Which wasn't even far. It was worse, man. So, we would get
Yeah.
babysitted by her during the summer.
Yeah.
And, it was just, I got into more stuff, fights and everything out there. But grandma didn't play, though. So it was more, my mom and them disciplined me, but not like my grandma did.
Yeah.
On my dad's side, she was like real stern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you ever scared of her?
Heck yeah. Grandma ain't play that, bro. Like, to this day, I be telling like my nieces and my nephews and stuff like, yo, she was here, boy, y'all wouldn't even be acting the way y'all acting right now. Like, y'all just don't know.
Yeah.
So it was, thank God for grandma.
Yeah, for sure. Were you into music early?
Nah, to be honest with you, I wasn't.
Word?
Nah, I was into sports. I played basketball, and that was my thing. And then I just did music, like rap. I just rapped and freestyled in school and stuff as a hobby, like just to play around. And then people just be like, "Nah, you really good or whatever." And I just be like, "Man, I don't care, you whatever."
So you were taking sports serious?
Yeah, super serious. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, did you have like aspirations, like to go to the league or anything?
Yeah, I wanted to go to the league. I wanted to go play ball. That was my dream. Like growing up, Kobe, Jordan, and Tracy McGrady, like them were my dudes. Them the people I like to try to emulate my game after.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just didn't work out that way though.
Was it an injury or was it a circumstance? What happened where it didn't go that far?
Man, I had a scholarship, everything, go to play ball, and George Mason, and I got hit by a car though. Yeah, I got hit by a car. Well, a truck really. Got hit by a truck, and had 9 surgeries. That was a wrap after that. I mean, I probably could have played again after that, but it was just too much, man. When you play 2 4-court games of basketball, and then it feel like you played 10 after it, bro. It's like, man, how am I gonna be able to play NBA 48 minutes or college? You know what I'm saying? 2, halves like that. Like, nah, I can't do it.
So how did the truck thing happen?
Man, I was working at a NTB, and wasn't supposed to be working anyway, because when you on scholarship, they kind of got you red shirt. You're not, saying you're not really supposed to be doing anything, but focusing on your curricular activities, and then sports.
Yeah.
And but I needed money, man. So I was one of the people that I never really wanted to ask my mom and them for anything. It was a pride thing, and so I started working there. It was good. Nobody knew, and then I had to train the boss's son one day. Kid never touched a car in his life, and so everything was going good for about a week or so. Then one rainy day, man, I'm guiding him in on a rainy day, and he coming up the lift. The car hydroplanes off the lift right into me, man. It's crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
So at that point, was it like fatal, or it wasn't that bad?
Nah, it was fatal. It was left broken shin. Which I have a rod in now, and then this leg was severed, artery was severed, lost nerve feeling in my right foot that I still can't feel today, and skin grafts, compartment syndrome, surgery. It was a lot, man. It was a lot. Yeah, so it was like a year where I couldn't fully walk.
Yo, so like even being able to walk now is like something you appreciate. Yeah.
Some days are hard. I mean, it ain't hard. Like, I'm about to be limping. But nah, some days, you sore or whatever. But you fight through it, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Yeah, it's crazy.
So at the time of playing ball, your peers were telling you like, yo, you can rap for real.
Yeah.
But you won't even like sweating it.
I wasn't really like pressed about it like that.
Yeah.
I always wrote like poetry and stuff like that. And, wrote songs just to do it, you know what I'm saying? Because I used to draw too as well, so I used to just do a whole bunch of stuff to just stay active. And then I ended up getting like talent shows just to do them and win them. And then people were like, man, you're actually really good. You might have a career. I think it was like a you know how they do the yearbooks and they like who's likely
the
to
most
be something.
Talented and all
yeah,
that.
I was one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was just like, man, I want to ball. Like that's what I want to do. Yeah, it didn't turn out that way, man. Yeah.
So then after the injury, you went through the surgery and you went through recovery. Like during the recovery, are you thinking about music?
I actually use it as a coping mechanism. I
Mm.
used it to get through a lot of the dark times because man, at that time I contemplated a lot, like a suicide,
Yeah.
a lot of things, man. It was just a lot of things spinning through my head at that time.
Yeah. So you just wrote about it. Just
Yeah,
wrote it
wrote
all
about
out.
it. I actually wrote like my first like mixtape in the hospital. Put it out, everything, and then I remember this DJ. His name was like DJ Cutter.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up like because I came down here to recover, and I remember he was like what was it, NC State, NC State DJ for 88.1. He ended up like playing one of my records, and that was the first time my records ever got played on the radio while I was in the hospital.
While you were in
Recovering,
the hospital.
yeah.
So you got hit in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
You came after the surgery. You came to North Carolina to recover.
Yep.
So was it like some kind of center or something, or it was just
Yeah,
you needed to get away?
It was Wake Med.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I came down here, and so I came down here, and when I got down here, like I said, they kind of forwarded me to Wake Med for more treatment and stuff like that. Yeah, and because it was just getting worse. Like I think when I was in DC, I only had like 4 surgeries, and then it was recovering, and then I had a setback.
Yeah.
And so it was like, I'm already in a transition of moving to North Carolina, so I have to go to Raleigh.
Yeah.
And recovered. I think I recovered the rest of inpatient rehab in Raleigh, in North Carolina, and Wake Med.
So where were you recording at?
Bro, I had those songs already like kind of recorded.
Oh.
So the song that he played on the radio was a song that was already kind of done.
Okay.
And so I just kind of added stuff to it.
Yeah.
And it was crappy, bro. Like I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Like the recording, the mixes and all that was terrible. But I recorded from a bed, man. You know what I'm saying? So but then when I got out, that's when it was like, all right, now I could be sending him more music and everything like that, and getting my name out here.
Yeah. So did you start to build relationships with people on the scene in Carolina?
Yeah, I think for like the first year I was here, I just went to like mad open mics.
Okay.
I went to mad open mics. I ain't even like try to perform. I just went and just watched people.
Yeah.
And how they did things. Because I remember going to open mics when I was in Maryland and seeing people like Logic and Gold Link and Wale. I remember like seeing them at open mics and stuff like that. But I never did anything. And so and people knew me. I was as a rapper in Maryland and DC, but it wasn't like a serious rapper. I didn't take it serious till I got here. And so like I said, for the first year I was just studying and just meeting people. And then after that it was like, okay, I'm gonna go to an open mic on one day in Raleigh, go to another one in Durham on Tuesday. Wednesday I'm in Greensboro. Thursday I'm in Charlotte. Then another day, like I'm in Selma or something. Like I had an open mic I was going to
like every night of the week.
Every night of the week, and was performing. Yep.
So after you like scoped out the terrain, once you felt comfortable, then you like
it was like a lot of trying to understand who I was. You know what I'm saying? Because I still didn't. Even though I was a rapper, I kept sounding like other people.
Okay.
You know? And people was like, oh, man, you sound like Fabulous, or man, you sound like Q-Tip. I got that a lot, and so it was just like, I don't want to sound like, I want to have my own sound.
Yeah.
But I was told to emulate people at first. And that's how you do it. And so that's what I did. And so, I just studied it and then like practiced at home or whatever. And then by the time I started doing the open mic, I mean, you have butterflies, everything like that. You know, I was never not comfortable when you first start. You know, but eventually I got it.
So what was your process of developing your own sound?
Good question. The process was getting out of a habit of doing things I used to always do, and that was like I said, like listening to a lot of artists that I liked. I would stop listening to them. And then it was just like, all right, well, let me stop picking the beats that I know they will pick. Let me pick the stuff that I'm going to pick, you know what I'm saying? So that was the main thing that kind of helped me do that. It was like,
Yeah.
all right, let me get out of that habit of listening to them.
That's I want all artists who are on the come up to like grab hold of that.
Yeah.
Cause you're right. Like when you're in a space where you're just starting,
Mm-hmm.
it is good to emulate to get started.
Mm-hmm.
But once you're really in a space where you understand how it goes, that is when it's time
Yeah.
to like separate yourself. And
Yeah.
the idea that you like, okay, I listened to these people, I emulated them. Now it's time for my sound. So I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna stop listening to them and I'm gonna stop making music on the type of beats that they use. That's kind of smart.
And you want to get like, that's funny because like my manager was talking about this the other day. Like when people was like, I was like, yo, let me just put this out here. Let me tell some people to just send me beats or whatever.
Yeah.
And mad people was like emailing me beats and we was listening to stuff. And then he was like, yeah, that's a shame type beat. And I was like, all right, I like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like now I know my sound.
Yeah.
And people know my sound, so they'll send me certain
Yeah.
things. I'm like, yeah, I could hear shame on this.
Yeah.
This is a shame type beat. Yeah,
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what was your project after the mixtape?
After the mixtape, I was working on something with my brother, which never got released. Because unfortunately he passed away. And then after, let's see, what was it, man? It was a joint called okay, so the mixtape was 12 Rounds of Pain. Okay, that was the first one.
Okay.
And then the second one that came out was Genesis 98, which was my project, like my first solo project.
Yeah.
And man, that was kind of like this is who I am as a rapper, you know what I'm saying? Still green too.
Yeah.
Still trying to find myself.
Yeah.
I don't think I found myself until the last project I just dropped last year.
Interesting. I want to ask you something though. The project that would have come out with your brother, was it like a collaboration on every song? It was you and him on every song?
Him on every song.
How many songs was it?
I think it was like 10. Wow. Like 10 songs.
Like, do you still have the files? Like, do you ever listen to
them? I got a lot of them, but they're unfinished.
Yeah.
They're not mastered or none of them. Some of these sessions, bro, I don't even know where we recorded these joints at. So it's like, man, I don't even know how I would even try to continue this.
Yeah.
I want to. Like, I did one song that he didn't finish, and we had the files for it, so it was perfect. But the other songs, like I said, it's just so corrupted, or it just sounds so like the mix is so bad. I don't even know how I would do it.
Yeah.
Maybe I could find somebody to strip the audio. Somebody told me they could. So
yeah, it's different way. Like there's different softwares now that kind of like will take the beat out of a joint, and you could just
use the acapella.
Yeah.
And to have somebody produce and make a beat around it.
Yeah. And how old were you when he passed away?
Sheesh, man. It's like 4 years ago. The anniversary was on the 16th. Yeah, so about 4 years ago.
And was it like a tragic thing?
Yeah, he was murdered. Sheesh, bro. Yeah. Tough. It's like I don't even know how I can say that with a straight face now, but I think it's one of those things where you kind of like they said, as time goes, you kind of heal.
Yeah.
I mean, you never heal from something like that.
But it gets
somewhat better.
Yeah.
It gets somewhat better. Yeah.
He was in Maryland?
No, he was murdered here actually, in North Carolina. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. Yep. Tough, man. We literally just dealt with the legal situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like that just went by. Like that's crazy too to even say that. It's like, dang, he died 4 years ago. They just now.
That's how it be though.
Yeah, it's
bro.
crazy.
I be watching different situations now when stuff happen, and I'm like, the legal part takes a long
and it ain't worth
time.
it. And it ain't worth it for what comes with it. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's real stupid.
Yeah. So you put out the Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis 98. Yeah.
Where did that name come from?
I look at Genesis from the Bible. Genesis is the beginning of everything.
Yeah.
And then 98 was the year that I really started like falling in love with rap. That's fire. And that was like what Dark and Hell is Hot, DMX.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it was Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
Shoot, Capital Punishment by Big Pun. It was a lot of albums. Like X dropped 2 that year. Yeah. So it was like, and he was like one of my favorite artists. So yeah, that was the year. So I was like, man, all right, I'm gonna do an album where I'm kind of dedicating it to the beginning of when I fell in love with
That's
rap.
fire. And how many projects have you put out between?
That in there.
Yeah, that one and the one you have out now.
Only one.
Okay.
Only one.
So it's 3 in all.
It's 3 in all.
But 4 if you count the mixtape.
Yeah, 4 if you count the mixtape. Yeah. Well, no, I'm lying. Okay, so the mixtape was first.
Yeah.
And then you have Genesis 98, and then you have Better Late Than Never that just dropped. So yeah, that. Oh, and then I'm sorry, I had a mixtape called that was just untitled.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's 4 projects, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So during the time of Genesis 98, what was going on in your life?
A lot of turmoil.
Yeah.
Man, I was in a bad relationship. I was in a bad 7 to 8 year relationship, and it was just real toxic, bad. It was a dark hole in my life at that time. So I don't even know how I focused and put out music and did all the things I did at that time, because I was just, when you come home to a place where it's just turmoil all the time, you know what I'm saying? So it was tough. I was homeless for like a good 6 months.
After that relationship?
Yeah, after that relationship.
What made you stay in that relationship for so long?
Security.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say security. I was in love. You know, you in love with a person.
You gonna fight in your mind. You just gonna fight through it.
Yeah, we was together since we was 19. So it's like, you know, we kind of grew up together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then when you grow up, kind of realize you don't want the same things.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, all right, we kind of growing apart. Like, she didn't like the fact that I was doing music. You know what I'm saying? And she wanted me to just be a ordinary 9-to-5 person. And that really wasn't me. You know, I had a 9-to-5, but I had aspirations of, you know, doing other things, my dreams. And so, she didn't like that. So it caused a lot of issues, of course, because, you know, when you're in the music business, you're out. There's women, people see, you know, and stuff like that. So she wasn't really feeling that. And so, you know, when you're not happy with you, sometimes you grow apart.
Yeah.
And, you know, she wanted something else somewhere else. So that was it. Yeah.
So then you leave, and in this 6-month period, are you still thinking about music? Because I'm sure was the project out by then, the first one?
Genesis 98 was out by then.
So like
I was working on the untitled one by then.
Okay,
that, yeah.
Okay. So were you still like trying to work and stuff too?
Yeah, I was still working. Like I said, even though I was homeless, I still had a job.
Yeah.
You know, so I was living in my car and then going to work, taking showers at work. Or whatever, you know.
Could anybody tell, or they had no idea?
Nobody could tell. The only one that knew at the time was my manager.
Okay.
I would stay with her some nights.
Okay.
My mom and them didn't know. I ain't tell them nothing. They ain't know till after, like way after, like that to now. Not now, but years later. And they was just like, "What? Why you didn't just come ask me?"
Of course,
you know?
they like, what you doing?
Yeah.
You ain't got no business being homeless.
Yeah. And so me and my dad, we didn't get along either too, because he wanted me to go to the Army after, you know, the accident. He was just like, go to the Army and all that. I'm like, I don't want to go to the Army. I can't even go to the Army, bro. Like,
I was just about to say, what would you
know, he wanted me to do stuff like that, or, you know.
And why did he want you to go to the Army?
You know what's crazy? Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm lying. So he wanted me to go to the Army before the accident.
Okay.
And he was like, you can go to the Army and play basketball in the Army and all that, you know, because we had kind of like a military background in the family.
Okay. He wanted you to continue that?
Yeah, and I'm like, I ain't want to do that. You know, so then definitely when after the accident, when I told them I want to be a rapper, they like, no, like, you know, what you want to be a rapper for? You know what I'm saying? So it was just real.
So do you think he was talking from a standpoint of just wanting you to be safe?
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and act like he didn't want good things for me, because he did.
Yeah,
he wanted good things for me. It was just not my dream.
Yeah,
you know, I don't know if it was his dream or whatever.
Yeah,
you know, and then it was just like he didn't want to see me end up like my brother, like in the streets. So it was kind of just like, all right, well, we don't want you in the streets, so go do something
where you can definitely not be in the streets.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna be in the streets in the Army.
Yeah, heck nah. You know, so he wanted me to do that, and
so rapper might have scared him, Shane.
Yeah, I'm
because that's kind of still close to the streets. Yeah. It's basically
it's still close to the street.
Cousins.
Yeah, it's still close to the street, because you know a lot of
rappers and dealers is they
come hand in hand. Yeah, so it was just like he was like, nah, I don't want you to be no rapper, and so like now he's very comfortable with it.
Let's go.
He brags about it, like, hey man, my son went on tour with this such and such, Wu-Tang, all this. He knows J. Cole, he's Dreamville, he knows Dreamville people and stuff, so like that. So you know, he's real proud of it now.
That's dope, man.
Roger is the way you say it.
Do you ever see like those little pamphlets and they're like very scary? Like they're just like, you got to give it up to Jesus or you're going to hell. And it's like a demon randomly in there. And I was like, I told my mom, I was like, yo, have you heard about getting baptized? And she was like, yeah, you've been baptized. I was like, yo, we run it back. My dad, we had this moment where we linked up, and this ain't no like secret. I have a song about it. It's called
Okay.
Conversation on the Parking Lot. It's on all streaming platforms.
Let's go.
But
okay.
he was like, so here's all the bills that you didn't know about, your cell phone stuff, like health insurance. And he was just like, sorry about that, player. I'm not against responsibility, but I feel like maybe you could wean somebody into. That's not just like, hey, yo, I'm about to hit him with this today. Like, he was like, yeah. By the way, me and your mom getting a divorce. I'm like, ah. Also, I don't think you're my kid. So I started crying, and he looked at me and was like, I'm crying. I was just like, okay, fuck you for real.
If you enjoyed this clip and would like to enjoy more, search the RXS Podcast on Apple Podcast and Spotify Podcast, or watch the RXS Podcast on RXS Entertainment YouTube channel. So talk to me about the process of doing the Untitled mixtape.
Untitled, I was just desperate to put out music at the time. Cause I'm gonna be real, like I never really put out music at a fast rate. It was always like if I put out an album, it was like, you get an album a year or whatever. Now it's different, you know.
Yeah.
Now everything's coming fast. But yeah, so it was just like, man, I felt like I had people waiting long for the next album to come out. So I was just like, man, I'm gonna just go ahead and just throw this out.
Yeah.
That's what I did. It was dope when it came out, but I feel like it was a waste of time because I didn't even promote it like that.
For real.
Like I threw it out and was just like, man, there y'all go. And then it was like I ain't press up no merch for it. I didn't do nothing. I hardly performed any songs off of it. And it was just like, yeah.
So like still to this day, do you perform any songs off it?
Nope. Nah. I think it's like a lost.
But you want to know what's
album.
funny though, for real,
Yeah.
is you didn't even give the mixtape a name.
Yeah, I was like, yo, Untitled. Because I was like, yo, it was crazy. You know what's crazy? Now that I look back at that joint, it's like, yo, there is no meaning behind this this mixtape at all because there's literally the album artwork is just a fire. It's black, and then it just has a green fire on it. That's it.
And that's it.
And people was like, what's the meaning of it? I don't know, the album fire, bro.
What? The album fire. What's the name of the album? It ain't got no name.
Yo, now I look back on it, I just be like, bro, like, you know, I will say this, like that is one of the drinks where it's just like, why did I do that, bro?
Yeah.
That's why artists, you have to do stuff. When you put out music or put out anything, put it out on your timing, not based off of what you see around you. When you see everybody else throwing projects out and you're like, man, why ain't don't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stop looking at what everybody else is doing and do what you do.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and that was one of them things where you felt like you were itching to just put something out.
Yeah, because I was really, really hot at that time too.
Okay.
And so people just needed something. They were like, when you gonna drop an album? When you gonna drop an
So
album?
he was like, all right.
You performing everywhere. You doing all these festivals. You doing all this stuff. And it was just like, all right, okay, I'm gonna just throw this out. And matter of fact, yep, that was around the same time when I got the call to do the tour with Wu-Tang. So I was like, man, I just need to put something out. Yeah, so it kind of was like, yeah, I know. I think I did press up CDs. So yeah, it was kind of like a selling point just to sell things while I was on tour. Yeah.
So tell me about this Wu-Tang thing. Tell me like how you got the call and how it felt to get it.
Man, shoot, it was wild because I got the call because I opened for Raekwon probably like 5-6 times.
Okay.
And so I built a rapport with him.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they was doing a reunion tour, I got the call. His brother hit me and was like, yo, we doing like 3 shows. You want to be on these joints? Open them. I was like, heck yeah. One of them was in Raleigh at the Red Hat Amphitheater.
Yeah.
It was like, what, how many people that night, man? I want to say like 7,000 people.
That's crazy.
It's like 7,000 to 8,000 people.
Yeah.
That was the largest crowd to this day I've ever done. That was crazy. I was like,
Yeah.
man, that's wild. But yeah, that's how it turned out. Yeah. Just
And
based
then
off
where were the other
relationships.
2 shows?
CCNB Amphitheater, and then another one was in Virginia.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Were you nervous?
Heck yeah. Yeah, that was my first time ever doing like. Before then, man, you know, I was getting like 200 people, 300, 400.
Yeah.
I ain't never see the K's, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It was
for
just
real.
Like, what in the world? So I remember the first time or the first joint of the show, we was in South Carolina, and I think it was like 3,500 people. And man, the first time I stepped out on that stage, I was so nervous I thought I was gonna throw up.
Word.
Yeah, like I came out, did my first like initial. What I always used to do is come out and then just do like a freestyle when I come out, like play like Mobb Deep or somebody else, something that people are familiar with, and then rap over it, and then get the crowd hype with that. And I remember when I finished it, I looked back at my DJ and was like, bro, I can't breathe. I had to like take a deep breath because I was about to call Earl.
So did the nervousness ever did it go away?
Once I got that out the way, I think by the time I got to like my second song, I was good.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point in your career, are you making money?
Oh yeah. I make money off shows, merch, streaming.
And were you at that time, were you still working too?
Still working. Wow. Still working. Yeah.
So by the time the next project came out after Untitled, that's your most recent one.
Yes.
And what's the name of that one?
Better Late Than Never.
What year you put that out?
Last year.
Okay. Okay. Where'd that title come from?
Well, it's two really meanings to it.
Okay.
You getting the Shame album. Better late than never. You know what I'm saying? So and then secondly, I did it based off of my where I worked at.
Okay.
I worked at a car shop. And so I based that whole album around my life at that time, and it was just like, all right, I was always late to work all the time as a mechanic. Like I worked on cars, so it was like, and my boss just be like, man, you always late. I'm like, better late than never, bro. You know what I mean? All the time. So if you listen to the album, it's like a whole timeline. Like from me being late, my boss calling me, telling me where you at, to me working on people's cars that I knew and messing up their cars. Or
Wait. You messed up somebody's
that.
car, Shane?
Nah, not in real life, but you know what I'm saying. Like you get.
So
scenarios.
do you like? First of all, when did you start working on cars? Like, do you have a background in wanting to fix things?
Yeah, like I went to school. Like I still went to school, even though I got I still went to school. Ended up going to a community college and getting my degree in automotive field.
Were you interested in it before that?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. It was intriguing. I was always good at like puzzles and all that stuff like that too, and with my hands. So it's like I was like one of them problem solving type dudes.
Yeah.
And so yeah, man. Once I got into that, and I started falling in love with cars. And just the making of them and everything. And so I was like, man, you know what? Like, I don't want to be one of these artists that be like lying about what they do. Nothing. I'm like, I want to tell y'all too that it's like, yo, it's okay to have a 9-to-5 and then pursue something that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's okay to rap about it, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it was just like, yo, this album, I'm going to tell people my story and how I, came up, and what I did to make money to support this music career.
Yeah. So you were taking the work money and investing it into music.
The work money along with everything else, like, cause I ended up getting like a booking agent.
Okay.
And then I signed with Rock Nation, Equity Rock Nation. Got a distro deal through them, and I'm still with them now.
Yeah.
And so they put out that project for me, and man, that album, I feel like that was my coming home party because everything started to come into fruition, man. 2 Dope Boys ended up doing a write-up on me.
Yeah.
Revolt TV, Hip Hop DX, BET
That's
Music.
fire.
Yeah, everything started like really going off. I ended up going on Shade 45.
That's fire.
Doing freestyles, everything. Like it just started taking off. Yeah.
Yeah. So Did you continue working once it started taking off?
Yeah, just continued working. I took some time off, um, and wanted to focus more on it and everything like that. But yeah, I took time off, but then I eventually came back to it.
Did your boss know you were a rapper?
Yeah, everybody knew it. They would always just like make jokes and not make jokes, but like they would just be like, "Yo, the rapper, the superstar in here today," and because people would come to the shop and then be like, they would know me. They'd be like, "Oh, you know him," and stuff like that, because I was known, in the area. So it was just kind of crazy.
So I want to ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Were you ever embarrassed at work when people would come up to you knowing you as a rapper?
If I didn't want my jobs to know, like when I did start like a new job, your new job,
You was trying to be low profile.
You trying to be low profile, you trying to be professional. And I remember one time, bro, I was working at this shop and it was like my first day, bro. And it was in Raleigh. And the dude, one of the parts dudes was like from Advanced Auto. He was like dropping off a part. And he was like, "Oh, snap. Shame, you work here?" Like, I'm like, "Duh." I'm looking around.
Chill, man.
I'm looking around because he like mad loud. So everybody in the shop like, "Oh, how you know you or whatever?" I'm like, "Man, I don't know, bro." And then it happened again. And then one of the salesmen at the shop that sold the cars, somebody told him. So he came up to me like one day in the morning and was like, "Yeah, I know about you." And I'm like, "Oh, God." He like, "Yeah, man, I seen you. I seen your joints. You working out here, man." He's like, "That's what's up," and everything like that. He was like, "I ain't gonna tell nobody though." I'm
Good,
like,
good.
He told everybody though.
Did he for
Yeah,
real?
he told everybody, yeah.
He was happy, man.
Yeah, it was cool because then it was like, oh man, now everybody, hitting me up, especially around Dreamville Fest time, everything like, "Yo, I know you're gonna be at Dreamville Fest or whatever." And all this. I'm like, bro, come on, man. It's crazy.
Yo, so have you found yourself in positions where people have tried to like use you?
All the time. I was extremely disappointed this year
Okay.
with Dreamville Fest because a lot of people know my relationship with certain artists in Dreamville, and so like it'd be shows like during the year. I'm sending invites out, or I put flyers up, whatever. Like, "Yo, come through, whatever." "Oh yeah, I'm gonna come, man." They don't come, but then when Dreamville Fest come, "Yo, bro, what's up, man? You think you could hook me up with so and so, or you think you could put me on the stage at Goldmouth Garage or whatever, or help me do this?" And I'm like, "Bro, I ain't heard from you all yet."
Whoa.
It's weird. Like, it's really weird, man.
Yeah, it
Really
be like
weird.
that sometimes though.
Yeah, it always is when they see you doing things, but it's like, man, I never used to let it get to me until like I say last year really made me mad. I was like,
Why? What made last year different?
It was just because I actually had the time to sit back and observe it.
Okay.
If all the other times I'd be like moving and shaking.
Yeah.
Like last year performing for Dreamville Fest at the Go My Garage joint, it was like I was moving and shaking. I couldn't really focus a lot, And then I dropped the album last year, album release party, everything was going crazy. And so this year it was more so I helped pick the talent for the Dreamville Fest Go My Garage.
Okay.
So I was like more behind the scenes more this year. And I had more time to really reflect on a lot. And then I was like, "Yo, that's some fake dudes, bro.
Yeah.
This is crazy, man."
Yeah.
So you start the circles start getting a little smaller.
Yeah. So do you have? I'm sure you do, but I want you to talk about them. Like people now that's been rocking with you that are genuine.
Oh yeah, a lot of good people. My team of people, my assistants, they day one.
Yeah.
My manager, day one.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to think about my homie Luke from Dreamville, day one.
Yeah.
Man, I got a good solid 5.
That's dope.
5 or 6, yeah, good solid
that's
people.
dope.
That's my people, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about your distribution deal.
Once I got the deal 2 years ago,
Okay.
and I ended up getting the deal through Jay-Z's nephew.
Okay.
What was his name? I can't not think of his name, man. He's a Carter, though. I know that.
Okay. Yeah.
And
like, did he discover you through some content, or somebody knew you? And
somebody knew me, and hit me up to them. They was like, "Yo, we want to link you with him." and she was based out of Charlotte. Forgot her name, so I'm tripping, man. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. But a lot of miles, but nah. Yeah, she linked me with him, and then, you know, he ended up hearing my music. He heard about everything that was going on, the buzz in the city and everything. So he was like, yeah, man, I want to, you know, take a chance on you and everything. So
That's dope.
ended up signing with him, and yeah, Rail Carter. There we go.
There you go.
My man's Rail Carter. Yeah. Yeah, ended up signing with him. I've been with them ever since. Yeah.
And what are the benefits of a deal like that?
You're very like they have a source of people that you can contact for like PR stuff like that or whatever. Putting your music out is easier.
Yeah.
You know. And then also the connections you build along the way too.
Yeah.
Just based off of who you're associated with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they help on the financial side, or is that still your responsibility?
Financial side still us.
Okay.
Still my team.
Okay.
Yeah, us and what we do, and yeah, like you really got to find a team and come up with your team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So if there's an artist out here who's thinking about partnering with somebody to get a distribution deal, like what would you tell them to like look out for or be aware of?
Like partnering with just somebody you don't know.
No, somebody like a Rock Nation. Like if somebody's like aspiring or somebody's like looking at an artist and may want to do a distribution deal, what should artists be thinking about and how should they approach the deals?
Be optimistic. I would say listen to them, and you know what I'm saying. Never not listen to a deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and see if it fits you. Everybody got different levels of success for themselves.
Yeah.
I would say you need to have people around you that you trust going into it, because it's always good coming into a situation when you have people that you trust, like your own initial team, and you bringing that family into that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because then it could be your hub under that hub.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Umbrella.
So, and that's how you got it set up.
Yep.
It's like you're under them with your team.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So they're kind of just helping you. They basically are supplying you with the
resources
that you couldn't get on your own.
Yep. I mean, I could. It just would have been a little harder.
Okay.
But like even now, like I still get a lot of resources based off of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe that I wouldn't be where I'm at, even if I didn't have them. You know what I'm saying? I think I would.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could say like, yeah, they definitely make things easier.
Yeah.
Roger is the way you say it.
You could get a million no's, but it only takes one yes to change your life.
And that's exactly what happened.
For inspirational purposes, just name a couple of people you've worked with.
1500 to nothing. Faith Evans, Kodak Black, T.I., ZZ Ward, Machine Gun Kelly, Ian Dior. Right now I'm with Ray Shrimmer. On the gospel side, Deion Kipping, JJ Harrison, Tosh Brace Lockhart. That's just to name a few.
Sometimes people feel like it's impossible.
That's how I felt too. I was out there and
Yeah.
it just happened like that.
But at the same time, you actually have to be good too, though. Like, you don't think you have to have some level of skill, Paco?
30% skill, 70% look.
Interesting.
Some artists won't even hire you if you're not LA based.
Crazy.
Out of sight, out of mind. If you're not in LA, you're out of mind.
Have you ever lied and said you live in LA?
Absolutely. I almost lost the situation.
How? What happened? The people need to know this stuff, man. They need to know real life behind the scenes, bro. What did you do, dog?
A girl was literally trying to fight me outside.
Because
He didn't show up.
were you nervous, bro?
No.
If you enjoyed this clip and would like to enjoy more, search the RXS Podcast on Apple Podcast and Spotify Podcast, or watch the RXS Podcast on RXS Entertainment YouTube channel. Have you seen has your finances and like bookings and stuff changed since this latest project?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been booked a lot.
That's fire.
Merch and everything's been good. Like I said, we've been grinding, man. We've been grinding all year.
So how do you do your merch? Like, do you do it like based on songs?
Yeah, songs and albums. Like if I'm definitely dropping an album, then it's gonna be something based off of the main album, of course.
Okay.
But then whatever songs that might pop within those.
Then you just be like, all right, this song going crazy. Let's
do a shirt off of this.
And
single.
do you do like do you have a specific routine to promote the merch? or it just kind of sells itself with
It
the
kind of
success
sells
of the
itself.
song?
Yeah, it kind of sells itself, and especially on how dope the merch look too.
Yeah.
And then I try to throw it out whenever the song is popping.
Yeah.
Whenever the song popping, it's like, let's get it out right now.
And you could just like, people that want to buy it can like either get it online or like at a show of yours or something.
Yeah, shows or definitely online too.
What's the
on
website?
You can go to Shame. IamShameMusic.com.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Y'all go get that merch.
Or
Let's
you can
go.
just go to my IG. I am Shame Gang.
Yeah.
And then my link tree. It'll take you to everything.
That's fire.
Mm-hmm.
So the next question I want to ask you about is the production.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you have like in-house producers? Do you be hiring outside producers? How does that process work?
I have a team of producers that I usually rock with that are my go-to good dudes, and that's the Mercenaries. They're
Okay.
based out of here.
Okay.
Man, they did the last album for Rick Ross and Meek.
Let's go.
They got like 2 or 3 joints on there. They got some joints with Lil Brother. They fire. And then my other homeboy, Sax Love Money, he's fire. He's from Raleigh. He got placements with like JID, a whole bunch of rappers. Yeah, he's fire, man.
And how did you even meet them?
I always known one guy from the Mercenaries named Skate since I touched down in the city
Okay.
years ago. And then he, introduced me to the rest of his team.
Yeah.
That's how we got cool. But Sax Love Money, he came out of nowhere. It was just like, I can't even remember how I met dude. I think I was just like a fan of his beats, or he hit me up or something and was like, yo, I'd love to send you a pack. And then when I heard his stuff, I was like, man, I love your beats.
Yeah.
So I became a fan, and we just kind of built a good rapport.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to help independent artists out here.
Right.
So talk to me about how you handle business. Like, okay, you're getting ready to do a song with a producer. Do you pay them like a upfront fee? Do you do a split on the back end? How do you do it?
I do both most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time I give them whatever they want. And then, a split, like we come to agreement, like, all right, how much percentage you want of this song?
Yeah.
How much is a sample of the song? Everything like that. Because nowadays you got to cover that way too,
Yeah.
if you got samples, clearances, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I usually do it like that. Or unless they, if they be like, hey, man, I just want to give you this, just look out for me on the back end.
Yeah.
Some of them do that too.
Yeah. And that's important too. Like sometimes it's actually worth it to like work with the artist that you believe in to build and then just.
You build, y'all come up together,
Yeah.
My manager says it all the time. He be like, bro, like he be trying to get me to do one project with one producer. He be like, just do that, one producer. Y'all do like a project ever. I haven't got around to it yet, but I do want to do that though.
Yeah. Because y'all can help build each other.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Oh yeah.
That's fire. Do you have people writing with you, or you normally write everything?
Nah,
yourself?
I write everything.
Let's go.
Yeah, I write everything, even when it come down to like singers on my stuff most of the time. But I mean, I do, like, of course, if I need a singer, I'm like, yo, if you want to write, I'm a fan of theirs too. Like, yo, can you write this hook for me or something? If you sing it or something. But like, as far as when all the lyrics and the rap, nah, that's me.
Come on, man.
Yeah, all day.
Do you produce your own self as well?
I just started tapping into it last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. I helped out on a few of the records on my album. But yeah, this next project I'm coming into, I'm diving into it more.
Let's go. And what made you interested in that portion of it?
I just want to be hands-on with everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Writing, producing, rapping, man. I want to be able to do everything. Like, I even want to, like I said, learn how to play like live instruments, all that.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any aspirations of doing anything outside of rapping?
Acting.
Let's go.
Yeah, acting. I actually started diving into it a little bit. I just shot like a little sequence with this dope videographer out of Charlotte named 12. We did like a little mini series that we was trying to pitch to Bose.
Let's
Bose
go.
headphones. It was fire. I've done a few like plays. And if you watch my music videos, bro, like all of my stuff, and most of the time the treatments is written by me.
That's fire.
Yeah.
So do you ever think you were getting into writing too? Like for
like
other
writing,
people?
like for like movies and stuff like that. Oh, I would love to. Like my dream, like eventually when I do ever do hang up the mic, is I want to get behind the camera and direct and stuff like that, and really dive into it more like that.
Yes, sir. Have you been reaching out to any other artists to like help them with that kind of stuff or no?
I haven't. A few artists have asked me though, and I've done it. Like, you know, a few
Yeah.
artists have hit me up like, "Oh, I ain't got no treatment for this video," and I'm like, "All right, I got you." Like, you know, I got it. I think I figured something out.
So you
know.
just do it on the strength of the relation,
Especially if I'm on the record too, and they like, oh, they already paid me for the feature or whatever. I'm like, man, like, I'm not one of them artists. Be like, man, you got to pay me for this now too. Like, nah, if I rock with the album, if I rock with the record, then yeah, I'm gonna rock with it, and I rock with the person. Yeah.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do a lot of features?
I don't. I mean, I do, but then I don't.
Okay.
Because I kind of it's a reason if I do it. You know, it's like, all right, well, I'm about to gear up to drop some album, so maybe I'll start.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like calculated.
Yeah, you calculate it. I don't want to oversaturate myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't do a lot of them.
Yeah.
But like I said, if there's a meaning behind it, then yeah, I'll start doing it.
So when people ask you to do a feature, do you like listen to the song before you say
I listen to
yes?
the song. Yeah, I'll be like, let me listen to it.
And then if you feeling
if
it.
I don't like it, then I ain't about to take your money.
So do you tell them like, hey man, this not, I don't think.
I'll be like, yeah, this ain't for me or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know, maybe you might, you know, find somebody else that fits this song better or something.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I ain't gonna just take your money if I don't like it. Right?
Has anybody ever like come back to you multiple times until, like, say for instance, they brought you a song, you didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, has anybody ever tried to bring you another song? Like, man, I really want him to feature, so let me try to find a song he like.
I think it was one artist did that before.
Yeah.
And we eventually did it. Yeah,
That's
we
fire.
eventually did like 2 records. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fire, man.
Yeah, it was fire. It turned out dope too.
Yeah. Do you write for other people?
I haven't, but I want to.
Yeah.
I would love to. A female artist.
Yeah.
I would love to write for a female artist.
Yeah. So you should start looking into that, man. Like,
I have a few of them that I'm looking into right
Yeah.
now. You know, we kind of talking and figuring things out. But my whole thing is, man, I love helping other artists. So wherever I can help at, man, I'm not one of them like people that be like what they say, gatekeeper artists.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't do that.
Yeah. Tell me, what's the furthest show you've done from Carolina so far?
California.
Okay.
Yeah, California.
What was that like?
It was dope, man. LA people was dope, bro.
Yeah.
Like they rock with hip hop, man.
For sure.
Yeah, like they fire, man. Oh, in Canada, I did a Canada show. But yeah, LA, man, LA very receptive.
Yeah. So they embraced like what you brought to the table.
Oh yeah. They thought I was from LA. I'm like, nah, I ain't.
Word.
I don't know why they thought I was from LA, bro. They was like, yeah, you from LA? I'm like, nah, bro.
Has anybody ever tried to get you to move there?
I'm actually moving there this year.
Let's go.
I'm out of here. Why? Yeah.
So what made you make that decision?
I just feel like that. I'm not gonna say I overstayed in North Carolina. I just feel like there's nothing left here for me to like do. I feel like I've done everything that I wanted to do. I've done all the major festivals. I made a name for myself. I feel like when it comes to Raleigh rap, I am that name that people come up with. Or if I'm not that name, I'm in the top 3.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So I feel like I made my name here and it's time to move on and do other things. And I got a lot of connections in LA. And so I'm about to stop, put myself in a box and go ahead and use them.
Yeah. So were you hesitant before now to do it?
Oh, very hesitant.
Why?
Because it's a new place, and I got family members up there too.
Okay.
But I don't think it would be like when I moved here though, where it was like, man, I feel like I'm starting completely over, because I feel like I built a name now.
Yeah.
Enough that stretches to LA too.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, I could do a lot more things with it. So I'm not scared now, but at first I was. At first I was like, man, I don't know, man. That's like another world out there. Like being over there is a totally different world.
So did you have like an event or a situation that made you say, "No, I'm going now"? Like, was it did something just switch?
Yeah, just all the recent connections I built out there.
Yeah,
and just how much they rock with, like I said, rap, bro. Like they really rock with rap. So, yeah, I just like, man, I don't want to be one of them people where it's like I let time pass me by and then I'd be regretting like that I didn't go.
Yes.
So I was like, nah, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, because the worst case scenario, you come back.
I come
at least
back.
you went.
Yeah, I come back, and do whatever, you know. So I feel like the people will embrace me here enough to where if I left, I could come back and be good.
Yeah. Do you feel like you will be leaving anybody behind, or you think everybody's good?
Everybody good, bro.
That's
my family
fire.
good. I'm good. I'm about to, like I said, I'm about to go. It's okay to be selfish. Yeah, sometimes you gotta be selfish for yourself, man. You gotta do what makes you happy. You don't want to be one of them people, like I said, that just look back and be like, man, I'm like 40 or 50 and I never, did what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever in your life felt like you were giving more to others than you were giving to yourself?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. That was probably my first, when I did that first album. I mean, not the first album, Genesis 98. Like, I was giving myself to a lot of people and then even contemplated not rapping anymore to make other people happy. Yeah. So it was just like, but what do I want, man? I don't want to do that and then I'm miserable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm making you happy, but I ain't making myself happy. Yeah. So I'm like, nah, I ain't about to do that.
So now you like, it's about what I want.
Yeah, now it's about what I want, and and taking chances.
Yeah.
And I bet on myself always. I'm gonna always bet on myself.
Yeah. What do you want your legacy to be?
I want to be respected. I said this in another podcast before. I just want to be. It ain't about selling millions of records. To me, I want to be respected as a pillar in definitely North Carolina rap. Like I said, when you come to North Carolina, I want to be one of the names that come up. Yeah. And so I feel like in Raleigh right now, I am that name to come up. And so, and I need to start, standing on business when it comes to that. Like I be like second guessing myself and not having the confidence in myself. And I'm just like, bro, like I've been doing this for a while. I done built my name up. There's a reason why. So it's like, yo, you know what? It's okay to say that I'm the next one coming out of Raleigh and coming out of North Carolina. I'm the next one.
Yeah. So even when you get to LA and start popping, you still gonna be repping Carolina?
Of course.
That's fire.
This is where I made my name. This is where I made, even though DC is my home, this is my home too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm always gonna rep it to the fullest. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And at this point in your career, what does your mom think?
Man, she think I'm the greatest rapper in the world. My mama bragging about me like crazy. Came to my shows, got on stage, everything.
Word?
Yeah. Before this was like my album release party like 2-3 years ago. Got on stage, everything. So she proud of me, man. Because like I said, that dream. I don't just do this for me anymore. Like I did it. I did this for me and my brother because he wanted to be a rapper. Wow. So it was like I'm living his dreams all through me too. So I feel like we both made it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how many years older is your brother than you?
My brother was like 6 years older.
Wow, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
At this point in your life, like when you're on stage, do you think about him?
All the time. Wow. All the time. Like what he would be like, on stage with me or just watching or anything like that. So I already know it would have been up if he was here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's fire. Do you ever find yourself like being a big brother to other artists?
Yeah, definitely now. I used to be so like standoffish into myself, but now I kind of come out of my comfort zone a lot more and start working with other artists more.
Yeah. Why were you standoffish at first?
Because people are weird. Rappers are weird. Other rappers are weird. I'm sorry. It'd be crazy. I remember the first time I ever met another rapper. And he didn't even like me. And he didn't even know me. You ain't even know me. He didn't like me based off of who my manager was. And and then once me and him like really started to kick it, he like, man, you actually a cool dude. And I'm like, you actually lame for even thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. Yeah, man. Rappers are weird. That's why, like I said, I'm very skittish on who I deal with.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, like I've been opening up a lot more though.
That's
lately.
dope.
Yeah.
So it seems like you're in a different, like to be in a space where you're getting ready to move to another state, where you're opening up to more artists. It seems like you're secure in yourself enough to like start to like be like, all right, y'all, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm secure because I used to always get this knock like, oh man, he don't come out here and rock with everybody, like he too good, and it's like it ain't even like that. It's just that I be in my own space, and then when I get around other people, sometimes I don't like to talk about rap.
Yeah.
Like we could talk about something else. Like if we, let's just kick it, bro, without talking about rap. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's the craziest thing. Like sometimes the closest relationships you have with people in music are not music based.
Yeah, it ain't. It ain't.
Like I have some friends now that I grew up with, and we talk on the phone, don't talk about music, but we are music. Like we do music together. Yes.
Yeah.
We grew up together playing. It's like sometimes
Talk about how your family doing, what's going on, you know what I'm saying, your life,
Yes. Not always trying to get on a track or do a track.
Exactly.
Or every time you call me, you want something, or you want me to introduce you to somebody.
Exactly. And I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to look, let's just kick it. Let's hang out. Let's have a cookout. Try to go to a bar, have some drinks. Let's talk about how your Sunday was or whatever, bro. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I'm like, man, I ain't trying to talk about no rap right now, bro.
Yeah.
I hear it all the time.
Yeah. Speaking of that, when you want to take like a breather from rap, what are some things that you do?
I love it. I love to travel.
Yeah.
Travel, vacation's my thing. If not, man, I still draw. Trying to think of what else, bro. I mean, I still shoot hoops. I don't think I'm getting twisted. I still can shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But other than that, yeah, man, I just, I read too as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, just, I try to, stay active.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big kid, so I try to stay active.
For sure.
Travel and do big kid-ish. Yeah. It's crazy.
That's fire, bro. I want you to speak to an artist that, like a rapper that's on the come up. Like, what advice would you have given yourself coming up?
Advice I would have given myself is not second guess a lot. I used to second guess a lot of things. And so it took a while for me to really trust myself. And then I realized, trusting yourself ain't so bad.
No, it's not.
What I mean? So yeah, don't be afraid to bet on yourself. It's okay to get told no. I used to let no's affect me so much. You know what I mean? It was just like, nah, because eventually you keep knocking, those no's eventually gonna turn yes.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I would say don't let no's affect me so hard. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Used to be traumatizing. it used to be like nerve wracking, bro.
Yeah.
Especially when you like know you're talented or you believe in yourself, and then you start looking around you, and I hate to say this, but you start looking around you and be like, man, I know I'm doper than this person.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then it's like, bro, and then you realize that these people have relationships. So it's like, oh, it's about relationships.
Yes.
I see now. There's not, most of this game is
it's not about
80% relationship based.
Yeah, it ain't really.
You know what I'm saying? It really ain't. And money.
Yeah.
That's it.
For real though, like even if you have like average talent, if you are connected with the right people and have the right amount of money, like you can go.
Yeah, you can go. You can get up out of here. And that's why I'm like, man, why am I playing games? I can go to LA and I got so many connections, and it's like I'm playing games. I'm gonna start being like the other people and use these connections.
Yes,
and start playing.
like, and that's the that be the crazy thing. Like you see people, like you're extremely talented, and it's not that these people aren't talented, but you know what you have.
Yeah, yep.
But those people be confident to be in people's faces, go here, go there, talk to this. It's like, bro, you mad brave to only be like decent.
Bro, I was watching a podcast. No, not even a podcast. It was a live with Guru and Royce 5'9", and Guru was like, yo, it be the lame ninjas that be promoting themselves the most for being that dude. Yeah. But the people that are really dope be the quietest and don't be promoting themselves. And this is like, bro, we got to spin the narrative, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to beat your chest a little bit out here and get back and get out here, man. Like, we got to stop being quiet. You know what I'm saying? And we got the talented people who got to start doing their things. Man.
Absolutely. Man. And being proud of it and being loud about it.
Exactly. It's okay to bet on yourself, and it's okay to big yourself up.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, man. Thank you for being here.
Talk your ish. Yeah.
Yes,
sir.
Y'all, this has been another episode of the RXS podcast with Shame Gang. We out. Peace.